Okay, good morning, everyone. We are here for a regular council meeting for the first time of 2024, so Happy New Year. We will jump right into it. We will go with introductions and then jump into the meeting. So we have myself, Chris Ewan, I swear I'm parked, I'm not driving. We have Councillor Shane Pelletier.
Good morning.
Councillor Janine Belanger.
Morning, everybody.
Councillor Joel Lemoine.
Good morning.
Councillor Jason Bondarchuk.
Good morning.
And our CAO, Mitch Duval.
Good morning.
So without further ado, item number 1, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Bondarchuk, thank you. Questions before we open the meeting? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That is carried. We will open the meeting at 9:01 a.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Belanger, thank you. Any changes to the agenda? We're good as is. Perfect. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Thank you. That is carried. Item 3, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine, thank you. Mr. CEO, go ahead.
The last regular council meeting was held on December 20th, whereby there were 2 subdivisions approved by council regarding some lands for Valley Fiber and their buildings. The Dutch Elm tender was also approved by council for public works purposes, and there were also 2 policy changes made. That's about it.
Thank you, council. Any comments, additions, edits? No. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 5, finance. There's no item 4, so item 5, finance. 5.1, accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk.
Batch 18172 in the amount of $40,955. That was a deposit made for some furniture that we are about to receive shortly.
Perfect. Thank you. Council, open up for discussion. Anything to add? No. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.2, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine.
All right, 3 batches, 18154 in the amount of $221,500. Batch 18156, some electronic fund transfers in the amount of $6,500, and invoices for 2024 starting to roll in. Happy New Year at $2,700. In regards to the bigger batch of 221, no breakdown has been provided for council. However, a verbal breakdown here, cascade system that the fire department's been looking for in the amount of $76,000. 2 insurance claims that have been paid out, so that was money received from the insurance paid out to the community groups in the amount of $37,000. Public Works canvas from Winkler Canvas for $14,000, and water plant upgrades for the amount of $13,000.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. CEO. Council, anything to add, comments on?
Good here.
No. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Item 5.2.1, council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine, thank you.
Hours for council for the month of December range from 5 to 23. I think there's going to be some adjustments for Councillor Belanger's, not a big deal, so we'll take care of that at our end and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Council, any comments? No. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.3, payroll to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Belanger, thank you.
Payroll 26 and quarterly 4 for the fire departments. Basically nothing to report there. Pretty standard at this point in time.
Thank you. Council, anything to add, comment on? I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.4, interim budget for 2024. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So basically, we don't have a budget in place for 2024, and this is just part of the standard municipal act procedures whereby council needs to adopt the interim budget. So our CFO has prepared for you and should cover us till we have an adopted budget in place.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
That was in February, right?
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you. We have that on recording, Mr. CEO. I'll call for the question. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.5 transfer funds. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk.
These are transfer funds that the CFO has done since our last meeting, so just a listing has been provided, and it is not an error on the 2022 capital fees. Those are for 2022. We were a little bit strapped for cash because of the DFA claims and expenses, so now that we have funds in our general operating, we are moving that over. 2023 capital development fees are to come.
Thank you, Mr. Shield. Council, any comments or questions? No, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 6.1.1 staff salaries for 2024. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
All right, as discussed with council members prior to the Christmas break, these are the salaries proposed for all employees of the municipalities, including council, fire chief, et cetera, et cetera. If you have any questions, please let me know, but we've gone through these individually and just looking for a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Council, do you have any comments on this? We did discuss this.
No, just thank for the management for looking after that for us.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 6.1.2 results from Turon Creek Speed Survey. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
All right, at some point in 2023, we received a delegation regarding the speed request change for the Turon Creek development area. So as council wanted, administration sent out a survey to, I believe, 112 properties that were mailed out. We received feedback. 22 of those have come in, and of those 22, I believe 13 of the 22 are requesting to have a speed change from 50 to 30. So the resolution that you'll be voting on is that therefore be resolved that the speed for the Turon Creek development be reduced to 30 kilometers an hour. So if you're in favor of a reduction, you vote in favor. If you're against the 30 zone, it's an against vote. So just clarification.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Okay, open for council discussion. This one deserves a little bit of chat. We'll start with Councillor Bondarchuk.
Yeah, no, I was kind of hoping that more surveys would come back. It's a very small amount that actually did the survey, so that's tough. If this doesn't get approved, I do think we need to look at further solutions on how to address the speed on there, perhaps. I don't know if it's calming bumps or something, but it obviously is an issue because it has been brought up by people, and just if it isn't approved, I do think we need to start looking at other solutions as well.
Thank you, Councillor Bondarchuk. Mr. CEO, how many homes are in that area? Just to be sure.
We sent out 112 surveys.
Perfect. So what is that? Just under 20% responded.
20%. Hang on.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone
CEO,
else?
Sorry, Mr. CEO, do you know what else was on the ones that were a yes, if there was any other comments or anything written on them?
Those comments I do not have, unfortunately.
Okay.
Anything else from council?
Well, I just want to make a comment. Joelle and I were driving through there when we were looking at the Christmas lights, and yeah, 50 is crazy. It's a tight, small little area, and Joelle couldn't even get up to 50. I know it sounds sounds bad, but 30 is a comfortable speed if we think it's too slow.
Okay. Anyone else? Councillor Pelletier?
I would like to know if Councillor Lemoine actually tried.
You know,
Just kidding.
I must, like we did, and right now I had question when you're coming off the 200, if that first stretch right before the roundabout was also to be reduced to 50. But thinking of it right now, eventually, hopefully very soon, the south side of that will all be fully developed into commercial space ideally, therefore more traffic. Once you're actually down those roads and you do have the occasional well, there's parked cars a little bit everywhere along the road. You know, we were driving it 40, 50, 30, whatever, and there's people, there were kids, they're like, it's fast. I was surprised. So anyways, those are my comments and I'll vote accordingly.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is that that stretch is very long. It's a long stretch with no stop signs put in there, so people can get up to the speed. And like that's, yeah.
Okay, Councillor Pelt, did you have anything to add?
Nope.
No? Okay, I will call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. So we are, Mr. Seal, that's being changed, correct? Just for the public to know?
Yes, at some point in time, we will look at putting up 30 signs or somehow communicating that to the area.
Just a
Perfect.
point of order, Mr. CAO, that this would actually just start the process to bring it down to 30, because that has to actually change in the bylaw, right? And we'll have to have streets that are included on that and everything.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we've got, where's my jump here? 6.1.3 emergency coordinator contract. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
All right, time for renewal for our emergency coordinator, Harold Schlamp. Not looking for much, 4.6% increase for the next 2 years.
Perfect. Council, anything to add or discuss? No. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. And 6.1.4 assistant emergency coordinator contract. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Belanger.
Same thing for Will Parker, who is the assistant coordinator, for 4.6%.
Perfect. Council, anything to add, discuss? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And that brings us to item 9, adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier. Any final comments? No. I will call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. I'll close the meeting at 9:13 a.m. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great and safe day, and we will be back in a couple weeks.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Stop recording.